changed your view on Canadian politics in any way and who you support here?
In terms of Trump, no, because I'm very ideological. I'm sort of hyper-political and have been this way for a long time. In terms of your earlier question about whether or not there is a Trump-like figure in this country, there is not. Trump is very, very unique, definitely like a once-in-a-century type figure. Let's pray that that sort of counterpart does come to this country, but none exists right now. In terms of politics alone, Maxime Bernier is the head of the People's Party of Canada.
We talked to him.
So, I mean, not to be unfair to him, I really admire a lot of his philosophical positions, but it's not just your substance, it's your style. He doesn't speak English fluidly enough without an accent to be compelling enough. He also doesn't have Donald Trump's charisma or impact. So again, those superficial things matter. You might meet a chick who's great at cooking, she's great at a lot of things, she could be a great mom, but guess what? You're not into her. She doesn't look good, right? That's not a good deal. So in terms of the style,
no, it's really it's so many moving parts that make Donald Trump, whether you love him or you hate him. It's no doubt that he demands the attention in every single room he walks into, and that's why he dominated initially in 2015 when he was running for president, right? I'm sorry, 2016 when he was running for president. You don't see it quite here. Do you think that there's hope for, let's say, the People's Party of Canada to turn into something like that, or no?
Okay, no, I don't. And it's not just because of a lack of a person to do that, no Trump-like figure to do that, but the party itself is too small. The real counterpart that you're asking about is whether or not the so-called conservative party in this country could have a Trump-like figure, and I think there is hope that the answer is yes. Why? Because the so-called conservative party of this country, I use so-called because they're not particularly conservative.
I like this big man.
The so-called liberal party, they're not liberal at all.
See, that's what I'm saying.
The only place
Our citizens of America and Canada and
there's no way he
other countries around the world,
the infrastructure of the party to win.
they're smarter than the fucking politicians think. This is a smart motherfucker, dude.
Person to do what Trump did yet? No, but there's hope. Yes.
So I'm so curious about that.
Hear how he
Is
says
the
it, though.
Conservative Party
Very articulate.
Because
Very articulate.
Right? Is there that base to support somebody like a Donald Trump in Canada, or no?
I don't have a magical 8-ball or insight into the Canadian public.
Good
I can tell you my
response.
experience.
Yeah, what do you think?
So, like, I'm just a 42-year-old guy here in Ottawa. I've lived my whole life here.
Oh my
I do
God.
think there's a base for that, and I think it's untapped. And I think a guy
Don't
like Donald
support
Trump
Trudeau.
laughed at on that
Trudeau.
on that Bill Maher show. Bill Maher, I can't stand him, but she was getting laughed at and pulled her for
Well,
saying.
we heard about the Bill Maher thing. You know, that's been like several weeks back. Remember when he went to go do dinner?
So the chattering classes,
the
the
White
so-called
House.
experts in the media are so divorced from reality they couldn't even conceive of Donald Trump winning. That's my view of what's potential in this country. The people that are hyper-political in many ways have no sense of what's actually possible. So if a Trump-like figure rose and began to speak in, as you put it, a straightforward manner with the charm and charisma that I was alluding to with respect to Donald Trump, I believe that that wouldn't only tap into an untapped base, but would actually mobilize people who are not yet awoken or motivated. Because if you're not into it, you're not going to join politics. But if something sort of inspires you to join it because things make sense, things are different.
Well, you got to get personally affected. That's where it is.
For today, so we had some pretty mixed responses. Let me know your guys' thoughts down